down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
What's going on, Savvy Investors? This is your friend, Steve VanCauwenbergh. You tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show. Yeah, I'm busy. I know I'm doing a late night one, trying to get it out every day. It has been crazy, but it is the first of the month, so you should be a little juicy-woosy. Why? Mailbox money. Anyway, I got this question. If you don't know, did I say it already? My name is Steve VanCauwenbergh, the Savvy Landlord. You tuned into the SavvyRadioShow.com, the place to empower you, to inspire you to the next level. Anyway, I got a question, and it's a young investor. I can't remember how many units this guy had, maybe 3 to 5. And he asked me this question. He has a full-time day job, and he asked me this question: how do I duplicate myself? Ooh, good question. Well, what's the problem? How do I meet the guy at the gas line, meet the gas meter guy? Or how do I show a property? Well, let me answer that question as best as I know how. Number one, when I was at that level, I was going ragged at a full-time job myself, and what I did was I always leveraged as much as possible. So if this resonates with you, if you're running around going crazy, no time, no job, you have a job, but I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, you're going crazy and you don't know what to do or how to do it, how to duplicate yourself or leverage yourself. Hopefully this podcast is for you. Other than that, turn it off and say, yeah, whatever. This is what I do. At this time, there was an old retired lawn care guy. Let's just say his name is Brown. Okay. Actually, he is in Oklahoma City. He does roll around. He does cut our grasses. First of all, you find I would say a retired person that's kind of looking to fill their time. Someone that's about a $10 to a $15 an hour scope. I would say $8 to $12. I wouldn't say 15, but that's another interpretation of what you should be paying people, and that's not this episode. But find someone like a lawn care guy and build a relationship with them. And this guy, for example, when I was running the property management, about 50 units by myself, roughly around 10 hours a day, I would screen my calls through Google Voice. The call would come in: "Hi, I'm Sally Tennant, and something's wrong with my water heater." And I would see that on a Sunday afternoon. Now, obviously, if you know me well enough, and if you don't know me, that's cool. But I'm trying to be a better dad than I had. Trying to be a better dad than I had. And my dad disappeared, and your dad may have disappeared, or you have a single mom or a single dad that raised you, or maybe even your grandparents. Whatever the case may be, you're busy on that Sunday afternoon. So what I would do, I would copy that message out of Google Voice from my phone, and then I would text it to this guy named Brown, and he would roll over there and assess the situation. First of all, he was trained that I would tell him to call the tenant first and diffuse the situation, find out what's going on. So in my mind, this person, whatever this costs me right now, is boots on the ground. Now, here's a caveat here. If some tenant calls you about something's wrong with their toilet and you send a plumber out there, you are a rookie. Why? Because a plumber, just for showing up there, probably would charge $85 to $125. That's just to unplug a toilet just in Oklahoma City. That's just the consensus that I've heard from landlords. They're paying $85. That's a deal. And they're paying all the way up to $125. Well, first of all, that's not the cost that I like to pay. So I dispatch my man Brown. My man Brown calls the tenant, diffuses the situation, rolls over there, and he's got nothing going on. So he rolls over there, finds out that the water heater was leaking, and he popped in a whole new water heater for $60. Bam. How much is a water heater for you? An average plumber these days I heard, and I don't know, are charging $300 to install a $300 water heater. Up to $600 is a common thing. I've heard people pay $1,000 to install a water heater. Wow. How do you make money? You save money by knowing what you're doing and hiring the right person. So this guy, Brown, I pay him sometimes $15, $25 to go to drive to a property and figure it out. Then what you can do, for example, if you get organized and you want to scale and you're busy, Well, that's the first thing I do is I send him out. And right there, just for that example, I saved, a couple $100 having Brown go out there and assess the situation. Now, keep in mind, you need to vet out your handyman, whoever this person may be. Don't find someone out of the Craigslist or out of the phone book. They're gonna I don't want to say that word. They're gonna take advantage of you. So kind of work at a census, hey, how much would it cost? And after a relationship is established and you know what's going on and you know their skill set. Now Brown, I like this guy personally. Now, would I have him hang drywall? No. Would I have him do any other handyman work? Probably not. Anything that's important. But what it's important to me is time and paying this guy $20 to roll over to a property and to change a lock, and it makes him feel good and he needs the extra cash. Great. If you were super on time and super organized on top of it, not on time, but on top of it, you can set it up like this. For example, you know that the gas guy is going to show up at between noon and 2 on Monday. Well, you call Brown, and the great thing about Brown is I can call him a day in advance. Hey, I need you on the property from noon until 2. This is the things I need you to do. I need you to cut the grass. I need you to make a punch list for me. I need you to pick up any trash. I need you to wash the windows. And you can probably do all that in 2 hours. And what is that going to cost me? So let's just say $25 to cut the grass, some $25 maintenance, $20, $40. Boom. And he get to let the man in to do the gas meter. See what I'm saying? So that's how you leverage your time. That's how you duplicate yourself. Here's another scenario. And then again, this is another older person. This is a lady that I met at a law office. She worked at a front of law office. Let's just say her name is Linda. Linda, where I would see her, and I was renting an office in that same building, and I would see this lady every day. She would ride up at 7. That's what time I rolled to work, and she would roll out at 3. And I found out through the grapevine, just talking to her, that she is on a fixed income, aren't we all? And I found out that she tutors on the side. Tutor on the side. Well, I'm all about my children, so I tried to hire her. Tried. You hear what I said? Hire her. It didn't work out, right? I would have her help, basically be a mini nanny, help us pick up the kids at certain time. And it just didn't work out. Her schedule was kind of changed. But what did work out, that I found out that she needed the income. And that's when people are motivated. So I was like, okay, what would it take for you to carry my phone around and take calls and try to answer the messages as much as possible? Do not call me, but email me or text message me if there's anything important. So we striked up a deal. Come to find out, she needed about $200 a month for a new car payment. She just got a new car. It's a little older car. She got it at a place, and she needed $200 a month. Bam. Opportunity. There you go. Now, again, this doesn't work for everybody, but here's the deal. Building a relationship with this gal over a certain length of time, and I can promise you can find this out today, and I'll tell you here another way I did it. And just recently, I did the same. I pulled the same trigger, and I found out that she needed it. The car payment was out of her budget, so she already bought the car. She was looking for a way to make money. We agreed on $200 for $200. Now, some of you may think I'm taking advantage of this individual. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not true. I'm not forcing people with a 9mm to go work for me. This is what they wanted to get paid, and this is what I was willing to pay, and we had a mutual agreement, and it worked out beautifully. This is what this lady did for me. She answered the phone. I can't tell you right now what that is worth to me, but for me not to answer a phone from a tenant or a prospective tenant complaining about something or asking me the most redundant questions that are on the internet that say the house, how much is this house? It says it right there, ma'am. I'm trying to be a jerk, but I was like, how'd you hear about it? Oh, I got it online. What does it say right there from the 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-car garage? What does it say? $1,000 a month, ma'am. That's the rent. We don't just change it because you called. No, I want to get into it. But you guys understand me? Landlords, you're shaking your head. Yeah, I know, VC. I know exactly. Well, this nice older lady, she accepted a call. I would instruct her, go to the website to get all the data that you need, even be on the phone and go to the website and reread the information to them. You tell them the process. You got to fill out an application. And then that's all the lady did for me. And then sometimes, she felt like she wasn't getting what she was not giving as much as she was receiving, the $200. She decided to start showing the properties for me. Fabulous. I told Miss Linda, I said, hey, roll to the property about 15 minutes early, set up all your showings at one time. For example, 4 o'clock. Tell everybody 4 o'clock. 10 people show up, fabulous. One person show up, fabulous. Nobody shows up, it's all right. But go in there, get there 15 minutes early, turn all the lights on, go back in your car, whip out a book and start reading, studying, or go around and pick up trash. And that's why I tell everybody that walks on a property, take a picture with the phone that I provided. And that's how it works. And so for $200 a month, maybe let's just say $400 total, $200 to Brown, 2 or 3 calls a week, and $200 answer a phone. And it costs me $25 extra a month to add on a phone. You get US Cellular, you can add on Verizon, and bam. So how much is that total? $450 a month. That almost ran the property management for me. At that time in my life, I was running 50 units at 10 hours, sometimes 5 hours. And I would just run all that through the computer. Of course, I was the middle person. Yes, I would see the text messages come in. Yes, I'd cut, but I would get to them when I needed to get to them, and they weren't interrupting me. That is the value of leveraging your time. So how do you duplicate yourself? Now, that's it. Now, in my day-to-day operation, I have several people, staff members working for me that fill in those gaps. I have a person right now that goes out and handles all the construction. I have one person right now that handles all the showing. I have one person that handles all the bookkeeping. I have one person that handles all the finances, all the reports, and all the lease signing. All of those things are separated now, and they're skilled, and they can get it done faster instead of having one person running around doing all things. Now, it takes some skill to organize it, but you can, after pain and sorrow, you get wise. So hopefully this was empowering. Hopefully you got something good out of this one. If you didn't, let me know. If I missed something, let me know. If there's a topic you want me to cover, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but at least I'm trying. Each and every day you should grind. Each and every day you should grind. This is something that I posted on Facebook the other day. I haven't even had a chance to go look at it. But the bigger the dream, the bigger the grind. That's got to be Eric Thomas. That ain't Steve VanCauwenbergh. The bigger the dream, bigger the grind. If you want to do better, go harder, right? You got to put more in, you'll get more out. And if this is you've got to email me, text me, Facebook me, ask me some question, and you can grow. Every day I learn something. If you don't ask, you won't grow. If you don't ask a question, a comment. It can't be matter what it is. Let me know, and I'll get it on the radio show. But after you learn all this jazz and grow and go to the next level, go buy assets and go bless somebody.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook, and always be buying assets.